Your clip for round one.
This is almost as good as Tom Jeffries. Again, as Mike said, the gift that's still that keeps on giving, the BBC Archive Facebook, Twitter and Instagram page. This is the story of two old runners. It's Joe Deacon and Duncan McLean.
Oh, with the 1965 athletic season only 8 weeks away, they're getting into trim at the Crystal Palace, which, says Duncan, they built specially for me. Joe, I always thought you retired after the 1908 Olympic Games.
Yes, it's quite right. Somebody bet me I couldn't do a marathon, and I said, all right, I can, and I turned out, and I went and ran through without any training. Never done it before, and I finished inside 3 hours.
What did you win for the bet?
Pardon?
What did you win for the bet?
A bottle of Guinness. As soon as I get out of bed, I do the exercises. No clothes on. When my wife's gone, I chuck all my clothes off and I do it all in the nude. I hope nobody can see me through the window.
Give me as much as you like. I'll take it. Being a Scotsman, I'll take anything I can get.
Well, I'll give you 25 yards. How
Right,
about that,
that's
do
how you. Come on, let's have a race then.
Right, if you'll finish us, Joe.
Mark. Get set.
Six. Is it?
13.5.
13.5.
What was your best ever, Duncan?
Oh, 99.
When you were how old?
20.
Well, that's not bad. 60 years later. 13.6.
So many good lines.
Absolute gold.
So many good lines. People have been running since Queen Victoria was on the throne. One of them won Olympic gold at the 1908 Olympics. That is before World War One.
But then
Lloyd George was the bright young thing of the House of Commons in 1908.
He retires and then comes out of retirement to run his first ever marathon with no training. Runs it in under 3 hours.
For a bet.
And wins the bet, which is a bottle of Guinness.
Bottle of Guinness, which would have cost about 6p.
3 hours, under 3 hours, and it's
mad.
Fucking hell.
I know.
I mean, he was an Olympic gold medalist
really
at the time.
good.
That's a really good marathon time.
I
now.
know really good club runners in their 20s.
Yeah.
And for whom the 3-hour marathon is the dream.
Yeah.
The man is 86. He did it. He did it for a bottle of Guinness. It would have been like 6p or whatever. I don't know.
How funny is Joe?
Well, the man who goes for, you wouldn't go running once a week on a Sunday, 5 miles, but he does his exercise for 45 minutes every morning in the nude.
There we go.
Naked.
In the nude.
And really
In
wants
the
to tell you that
bloody
as well.
And
He wants
doesn't just-
everyone
yeah,
to
exactly
know.
that, Steph. It's not just I do it in the nude. I do it in the nude and I want you to know that I do it in the nude.
He does it in the nude. And I love the way he says, to be honest, my training's going really
Imagine
well.
how long
at
his
the
ball bag is. 86.
He's not skipping.
For God's sake, put some pants on.
And he says, oh, my
You'll
training's
be touching your toes and your balls will be whacking the floor first.
He says, my training's going really well at the moment, must admit. I'm certainly much faster than I was when I was 78.
78?
Those are the levels. The man's 86. And do you know what? Neither of them...
He looks great for his age.
Neither of them run like old men.
No.
So we've done those videos...
Duncan's quite bow-legged though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's short for a sprinter. I'm short for a sprinter, you know.
But we've done a couple of those videos where you...
He's full of shit, Duncan, mind, isn't he?
The Japanese
He looks-
masters... And the guys
Yes.
are like 98 and then running under me. And they look like very old men running. These boys...
Yeah, they looks like Weekend at Bernie's.
Do you know what
What
I
a
love about
reference.
this? I mean, I've watched this 4 or 5 times because there's so many good lines in it. But you know the presenter, the presenter says, "All right, then I'll take you on at running. I'll take on 100 meters. I suppose it was probably the 100 yards, isn't it? I'll take a 100-yard dash."
It was about 30 to me, but go on.
Yeah, and then he says, "How much of a handicap do you want to give me?" Then he goes, "Oh, and I'm Scottish, so I'll take as much as you're willing to give me." And he's like, "All right, I'll give you 25 yard head start."
Yeah.
and he beats him, right?
Yeah, what a
Fair
knob.
play to the reporter for beating him.
Yeah.
Knobhead.
So he beats,
Come on.
the reporter beats him. Do you
I
know who
beat
the
him.
reporter is?
Oh,
And the reporter...
Carl Lewis.
hang on. Well, you say that, and you're sort of not far off, right? The reporter is Chris Brasher.
Alan Wells.
Shut
The
up.
reporter is Chris Brasher, who was Roger Bannister's pacemaker when he broke the 4-minute mile. And he's only 36.
But also,
He's a fucking athlete himself.
Duncan, with what can only be described as a flimsy grasp of how timing works, right? So, yeah, Chris Brasher did it in 13.6, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he beat Duncan, right?
Yeah.
But saliently, Duncan had a 25-yard head start, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
at a quarter, so Duncan did it in about, would have done it at the 100 by the extrapolating that in about 17 and a half, 18 seconds.
Yes.
So when he goes, what's the fastest you ever done it? 9.9. I thought, shut up, mate.
9.9.
So- 100, maybe 100 yards in 9.9, but even then,
yeah. Yeah.
I doubt it, right? But it's possible.
Yeah.
But you haven't slowed down by 3 seconds now.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do it in 13.6.
No.
You did that less well-known Olympic distance of the 75 yards.
Unless Chris Brasher was running 125 yards.
Maybe, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's 100 yards.
It doesn't look like it's
Yeah.
100 yards, if I'm honest.
It's at the Sports Centre in Crystal Palace, where I used to play.
Duncan,
five-a-side, and
Joe,
it looks identical. It hasn't
Joe,
changed
I would like to
at
spend a
all.
bit of time with, right? I think Joe would have been good company and fun. I bet Duncan would have been a pain in the ass.
Do you
I think
reckon?
Duncan would be
man.
fun to wind up in the pub, I thought.
They said he's on the halls, like he was a Scottish comedian money for years.
Yes.
In a sort of Chick Murray mode, you'd imagine, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, what's the best thing about it? It's not that he feels great. It's not that it gives him a sense of, well-being. Well, I'm doing what millions of people can't do.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. That's your motivation for anything
Proper
in life.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't do this. Fuck
What I
you.
like best about this is that you can't do it. Oh, God. It's a great clip.
I just.
Well, you
I
go,
love
Steph.
the
You know more
fa-
than I do about athletics, right? It said they're training for the upcoming 65 athletics season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before, like, global athletics,
Yeah.
which, I mean, athletics seems to be on TV from somewhere in the world 12 months of the year, right? Would there have been like a season in the old days, like June to October or something?
Yeah.
Would it?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Because, like you say,
Okay.
there wasn't sort of the global travel that there was apart from for major championships. And the indoor stuff, like, there's the World Indoors on the weekend, so that was kind of on the telly loads, and that wouldn't have existed. Those sort of championships weren't.
So it just
you
would have
might
been a summer sport of your athletic club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just get on with it, and then you have different age categories and stuff that these lads would be involved in. And that sort of stuff still goes
Oh,
on.
by the way, I should mention, I think I mentioned before in here, but going through all my stuff, we're doing stuff on the house now. My Uncle Reg's athletics vests, so my nan's brother, Uncle Reg, he's got some lovely old school, like Glamorgan and I think Wales, like running vests from back in the day.
Nice.
Pre-war.
Yeah.
But they're just in a cupboard doing nothing. So I don't know if I can, if someone from Leckwith or someone wants to put them somewhere with they're really lovely old vests, 100-year-old
I'm
vest nearly.
There are people from the athletics community who listen, so
Yeah, get
there'll
in
be
touch
people
because
who
they're
know.
beautiful old vests.
That'd be good. That'd be nice. Get them all. Oh, lovely. Get them tarted up.
I do
on the
love
wall.
these two.
Yeah.
It is like Tartan Flash-esque. These two, isn't it?
Yeah,
I-
but with a gold
Joe-
medal.
Joe Deacon, though, the one who
And no
won
clothes.
gold at the 1908 Olympics,
Naked.
he was born in 1879.
That's mad.
No.
It's
Why does he kick his wife out when he's? I don't quite get that bit. He's like, wife goes downstairs, then I take all my clothes off and I do my exercises. Prudish.
Well,
as a
that
couple.
generation, isn't it?
the other one.
My dad had a mate who's I'm not going to name him for reasons that become apparent now.
Okay.
Married for a long, long time, and they've never seen each other naked.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the way. I'm pretty sure my nan never saw my granddad naked. and vice versa.
You sure?
I'm sure I was blind. No, she wasn't blind. That was the way it was, wasn't it? You know, it was very functional. If you were talking about chapel earlier,
Yeah.
shagging was for one thing, really. Well, that was what it was for.
Well, keeping warm in the pre-central heating age.
Yeah.
It's mean a life these, that, isn't it? He's a Protestant. I am a Protestant.
Functional shagging.
Well, that's like us. We've got 2 children. We've had sexual intercourse twice.
Functional shagging.
Yeah.
It made it sound like a book you were writing.
Functional shagging, Volume 1.
Yeah, that's what you made it sound like. You're doing your little Instagram advert for it. Functional shagging.
Functional
Elis
shagging.
James.
Forward by Alan Titchmarsh.
Titchmarsh. Giving you sex advice.
He wrote erotic novels.
He did. Oh.
How erotic?
Imagine that.
How erotic?
Imagine.
How erotic are they?
How erotic are we talking here?
Titchmarsh?
Yeah.
Just at it.
Like, is it like, how graphic is it?
I don't know how graphic do you want it.
I don't think he bummed anybody in him, but, you know.
I don't know. But he's
Spit
phrased
roasted.
it more eloquently.
Is he alluding to things, or is it like
I think it was like him and Hester Blumenthal at 2s up or anything.
page after page of it to fill?
Absolute filth. Every bit of it. No plot. Just filth.
I wonder if that jeopardised his career at the BBC as erotic.
Pebble Mill.
novels. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have, would it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, they're quite
could
twitchy
you
about
get
doing
on the
anything.
on the one
The
show?
TV Gardener, 71, shocked fans by penning steamy sex scenes in his books, but he claims they shouldn't have been surprised. He knows about pollination. In an exclusive chat with The Sun, he says, I've written 11 novels altogether. Perhaps they're not as racist as when I started.
Oh, dear. He's slowing down.
Then The Guardian got a headline of Alan Titchmarsh, sex in a pullover. Raunchy novels. He can't have written. They must be ghost written.
Ghost sex.
Hang on.
I don't know. I just can't imagine someone say, you know, from the one show writing a raunchy, sexy novel.
No? You can't see Jermaine
No.
Janice writing a sexy novel?
No, not at
No.
all.
Janice would, I reckon Janice would write a good novel.
Do you reckon
Right, he
Janice
writes
has got
steam.
one in him?
Oh, is that the first paragraph? Go on.
Just the one. Wow.
Oh, put in the fantasy and fancy football league.
Ooh, it's good. This is good. Write this shit down, Al. Don't waste it on the podcast.
Telegraph, right? This is from the Telegraph. Not my favourite read. What a headline from April 2001. Horny-minded son of the soil. When Alan Titchmarsh plunges his hands into the earth, women all over Britain tremble.
Do they?
Television's celebrated gardener talks to Nigel Richardson about sex, shrubs, and why he's leaving ground force. If that's not enough to make me go for sign up for the free trial, that's nothing is.
I have all my personal data. I'm reading this.
God.
Right.
You must get to a point of, like, you know, I mean, you're there, Al. You I reckon if you pushed for a sex novel, they'd give you one.
Yeah. You
Like
definitely-
Ramesh could
yeah.
write
yeah.
a sex novel.
Yeah.
What would it be about?
Sex.
Sex.
Penises, vaginas, the lot.
All of them.
The full English.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
we are, call it that.
Call it
there you
the full English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Racist, sexist novel. You're right.
I'll talk to my people.